At my engagement party, my fiancé's brother exposed my secret $9.3 million savings, demanding I sign over half to prove my love, unraveling a web of trust and betrayal I never saw coming. I'm Min Tran, 29, a data analyst living in Raleigh, North Carolina. My fiancé, Ethan Carter, 31, is a high school history teacher with a contagious laugh and a knack for making everyone feel seen. We met 3 years ago at a local book club, bonding over our love for historical fiction. Ethan's from a tight-knit, Southern family, while I'm a first-generation Vietnamese American, raised by my single mom in a modest Durham apartment. My mom, Lynn, 58, worked 2 jobs to get me through college debt-free, instilling a fierce work ethic and a habit of saving every penny. Ethan's family is big: 3 brothers, 2 sisters, and a revolving door of cousins. His older brother, Mason Carter, 35, is a real estate agent with a slick smile and a habit of sizing people up like properties. Mason's always been polite but distant, like he's waiting for me to slip up. Ethan's mom, Deborah, 60, is the family glue, hosting Sunday dinners where everyone's expected to show. I fit in well enough, or so I thought, bringing my mom's banh mi recipe to potlucks and laughing at Mason's bad jokes. My $9.3 million. That's the secret I've carried since I was 25. In college, I interned at a tech startup, writing code for pocket change. The company exploded, and my tiny stock options ballooned into a fortune when they went public. I never told anyone, not Ethan, not my mom. Why? Growing up poor, you learn to hide what you have. Plus, I didn't want Ethan to see me as a bank account. I live modestly, drive a used Honda, and funnel most of my analyst salary into investments. The money's in a private trust, accessible only by me, with statements sent to a P.O. box I check monthly. The engagement party was at Deborah's sprawling house in Cary, a warm July evening with fairy lights strung across the backyard. About 50 people, family, friends, coworkers, mingled over barbecue and sweet tea. I wore a simple yellow sundress, Ethan in a navy blazer, both of us giddy. We'd planned a small wedding, just close family, and this party felt like the real celebration. Around 9 p.m., Mason clinked his glass, silencing the crowd. I thought he'd give a toast. Instead, he held up a piece of paper, his grin sharp. "Min, you've been holding out on us," he said, voice carrying over the hush. My stomach dropped. Ethan, beside me, frowned, squeezing my hand. Mason waved. The paper, a bank statement, my bank statement, showing $9.3 million. Found this in Ethan's car, tucked in a folder. Care to explain? Gasps rippled through the crowd. My face burned. Ethan's grip loosened, his eyes darting between me and Mason. I don't understand, I stammered. How did you? Doesn't matter, Mason cut in. What matters is you're sitting on a fortune, and my brother's got no clue. You love him, right? Prove it. Sign over half, right now. Show us you're not just playing him. The crowd was silent, eyes boring into me. Deborah clutched her pearls, lips tight. My mom near the back looked confused, whispering to a cousin. Ethan's face was unreadable, hurt flickering in his eyes. "Mason, this isn't the place," Ethan said, voice low, but Mason ignored him. "Sign it, Min. Or are you hiding more?" Mason tossed a pen at my feet, dramatic, like some courtroom. Drama. A cousin snickered. My heart raced. How did he get that statement? I'd left it in my car, locked, not Ethan's. Had he broken in? Stalked me? I scanned the crowd, searching for an ally. My coworker, Priya, mouthed, "What the hell?" Ethan's sister, Claire, 27, stepped forward, glaring at Mason. "This is bullshit, Mason, stop it." But Mason doubled down. "She's a liar, Claire. Ethan deserves better. Min, sign or admit you're using him." He slid a makeshift contract, handwritten, absurd, across the picnic table, demanding half my trust's value. I wanted to scream. This wasn't about love, it was control. Mason had always eyed me like an outsider, questioning my place in their family. Now he'd weaponized my secret. But how? I hadn't told a soul. The P.O. box, the locked car, someone had pried into my life. Ethan touched my arm. "Min, is this true? Why didn't you tell me?" His voice cracked. Not angry, just lost. That hurt worse than Mason's stunt. I'd hidden it to protect us, but now it looked like betrayal. "I was going to tell you," I whispered. "After the wedding, I didn't want it to change us." Mason laughed cold. "Too late. Sign or walk away." The tension was suffocating. My mom pushed through, grabbing my hand. "Min, what's happening?" she asked in Vietnamese, her voice trembling. I couldn't answer. The statement, the contract, Mason's smirk, It was a setup, but I didn't know how to prove it. Not yet. I froze, the pen at my feet glinting under the fairy lights. Every eye was on me, judging, waiting. Mason's contract was a trap, but refusing it made me look guilty. Ethan's silence was louder than the crowd's whispers. I had to act, but how? I picked up the pen, not to sign, but to buy time. Mason, I said, voice steadier than I felt. You don't get to dictate my life, or Ethan's. This is our engagement, not your game show. A few guests murmured approval, but Mason wasn't fazed. Deflecting, huh? Just sign, Min. Prove you're not a gold digger in reverse. I turned to Ethan. I didn't tell you, because I love you. This money, it's not who I am. I wanted us to build a life, not buy one. His eyes softened, but doubt lingered. I faced the crowd. I earned that money. College internship, stock options, dumb luck. I hid it because I grew up with nothing. And you don't flash cash when you know what it's like to lose it. My mom nodded, tears in her eyes. She got it, but Mason? He was too far gone. I realized then, this wasn't random. He'd planned this, dug into my life. The statement wasn't in Ethan's car by accident. I needed proof. Give me the statement, I said, holding out my hand. Mason hesitated, then handed it over. I scanned it. My trust's letterhead, my name, the exact balance. But the date was off. It was from 2 months ago, not recent. I hadn't checked my P.O. box in weeks. Someone had intercepted it. Who gave you this? I asked, voice sharp. Mason shrugged. Doesn't matter. It's real, isn't it? It matters if you stole it. I turned to Ethan's family. Someone broke into my car, or worse. This isn't about money. It's about trust. Mason's trying to break us apart. Claire stepped up. Mason, you're being a jackass. Apologize. Deborah, silent until now, nodded. This is enough, Mason. But I wasn't done. I tore up the contract, slow, deliberate. I'm not signing anything. Ethan, if you want to talk, we will alone. Not like this. I grabbed my mom's hand and walked out, leaving the party in chaos. In the car, I called my trust's lawyer, a gruff guy named Paul. Someone accessed my statements. I told him. I need to know how. Paul promised to dig, starting with the P.O. box and bank security. At home, I locked the door, my mind racing. Ethan texted, "Can we talk?" I'm sorry. I didn't reply. Not yet. I needed answers first. Had Mason acted alone? Was Ethan involved? The thought made me sick, but I had to consider it. I pulled up my security app, cameras I'd installed at my apartment after a break-in last year. Nothing unusual, but my car wasn't parked here. I called Priya, who'd left the party early. Did you see anyone near my car? She hadn't, but she'd noticed Mason lingering by the driveway, on his phone before the toast. By 2 a.m., Paul called back. Your P.O. box was compromised. Someone bribed a postal worker. I've got a name, but it's not Mason. It's a PI he hired. A private investigator. Mason had been stalking me, probably for months. The next morning, Ethan showed up at my apartment, eyes red. Min, I had no idea, he said. Mason's been weird about you, but this? I'm disgusted. He looked broken, like he'd lost his brother and me in one night. I let him in, cautious. Why didn't you stop him? I asked. I was shocked, he said. I didn't know about the money, and then he's waving that paper, and I froze. I'm sorry. I believed him, mostly, but trust was cracked. Did you ever suspect anything? I pressed. He shook his head. You're so normal. I love that. I never thought you were hiding millions. We talked for hours, raw, messy. He wasn't angry I'd hidden it, just hurt I hadn't trusted him. I explained my fear. Money changes people. He got it, but it stung. Mason, meanwhile, doubled down. He texted the family group chat, claiming I was shady and Ethan deserved better. Claire leaked the texts to me, furious. Deborah called, apologizing, saying Mason was out of line, but begging me not to cut them off. I didn't know what to say. My mom was livid, ready to confront Mason herself. I stopped her. She'd worked too hard to get dragged into this. Priya spread the word at work, and soon, co-workers were texting support, calling Mason a creep. Paul's investigation dug deeper. The PI, a sleazy guy named Vince, admitted Mason hired him to vet me, suspecting I was too perfect. Vince bribed the postal worker, got my statement, and fed Mason's paranoia. Mason thought exposing me would save Ethan. Instead, it backfired. Ethan confronted Mason at Deborah's house, with Claire and their dad, Tom, 62, present. Mason admitted everything, claiming he was protecting the family. Ethan cut contact, telling Mason to stay away from us. Deborah cried, torn between her sons. Claire and the other siblings sided with Ethan, icing Mason out. The community got wind of it. Raleigh's tight-knit. Mason's real estate business took a hit. Clients didn't trust a guy who'd pull a stunt like that. He left voicemails for me, half apologizing, half blaming me for ruining his life. I blocked him. A month later, Ethan and I were still together, but different. We started couples therapy, working through the trust issues. I opened up about the money, showing him the trust documents. He didn't want it, just wanted me. That helped. I moved the trust to a new bank, changed my P.O. box, and filed a complaint against the postal worker. Paul's pushing for charges against Vince, but Mason's likely off the hook. Technically, he didn't break the law, just ethics. I told my mom the truth. She cried, proud, but hurt I'd carried it alone. We're closer now, planning a trip. To Vietnam. Just us. The wedding's on hold, not canceled, just paused. Ethan understands. Mason's out of the family's orbit, living in Charlotte, licking his wounds. Deborah visits him, but the rift's deep. I don't hate him. I pity him. He thought he was the hero, but he broke his own family. I'm not that scared kid hiding her savings anymore. I'm Min, who loves Ethan, who earned her place. The money's still there, but it's not my secret. It's just math. And I'm done hiding.